is there some wiggle room on the corporate tax rate? Right? People are saying maybe 25 gets done because Manchin is on the record saying he's not a big fan of 28, and you're going to need him.
Well, good morning, guys. This is the president's plan. He's going to take some time to outline it today. And I think it's big and it's ambitious, but it also is practical. It addresses infrastructure challenges that I think we have seen and known for many years. Our roads are in disrepair. Our airports are in disrepair. Our ports are clogged. And making a capital investment in America over roughly 8 years could solve these issues, could address the consumer-facing problems where people end up paying more because they're sitting in traffic. They're paying more for more to get around. And so we could do this as a country. He's going to lay out his plan, where to invest, how to invest, and he's also going to offer a way to pay for it. He will say, and we will say, we're open to conversations. If people have other ideas about how to pay for it, how to structure this, that's how the process will be. But the president's got a pretty clear vision for how we could do this, and it would be really good for the economy.
You heard I think you had your earpiece in that there's concern, obviously, in an economy like this that it is, had to deal with what it's had to deal with during the pandemic, that raising taxes, even to do what you are describing as some very worthwhile things, that you still need to stop and think about, unintended consequences of whether it could hurt jobs, whether it could hurt GDP growth, whether it could even hurt corporate profits, because corporate profits have been strong, and it's good when we're competing globally. They reinvest it. There's innovation. There's all kinds of reasons why you hope corporate profits are strong. So those are all considerations, aren't they, Brian?
Look, looking at the economic crisis absolutely is a consideration what we need to do here. But I would say if you look at what we have been through, it reinforces the need to invest in broadband, for example, which is the electricity of this century. It reinforces the need to invest in our supply chains, in manufacturing, in providing support to actually build semiconductor fabs here in the United States, address the issue of battery and storage shortage in the United States. These are all issues that we need to take on as a country, and it's been highlighted. This crisis has highlighted it. We also need to create better jobs all around the country, and we've seen that here too. We still have 10 million people out of work. But to the question on corporate taxes, look, our corporate tax system is not working right now, and the 2017 law didn't address the core issue, which is there is still too many incentives for companies to shift profits, to shift production to overseas jurisdictions, and we are seeing a race to the bottom that we think we need to stop. So if you look at the president's plan, it is over a long term. This is a reasonable approach. We're talking about bringing corporate revenue as a share of GDP back to its historical average between 2000 and 2017. We think that's a reasonable step, and doing so would allow us to make an unprecedented amount of investment in American infrastructure that will grow the economy.
But raising taxes does the opposite. Back to 28 will make it more likely that they move off, that inversions could begin again, Brian. That just makes no sense to say that that's a way of addressing that companies move out of the country. If you go back up to 28, if you're globally trying to stop a race to the bottom, by us taking that stand going back to 28 does not help corporations stay here.
Look, the way that corporations make these decisions is to look at our tax system in the aggregate. And I would note that a 28% rate prior to 2017, 28 was what a lot of the business community was focused on. It would be a lower rate in the U.S. than any year since World War II, except for the last couple of years. And the question for companies is, do we have an environment that is attractive to invest in? That's about the corporate system as a whole. Where we need to address these. It's not just about the rate. It's about, are there incentives to shift profits, to strip earnings, move to lower tax jurisdictions? The evidence since 2017 has been that's principally been what we have seen. But also, can companies invest in the U.S.? Can they move their goods around? Is this a competitive place to do business? That's why these infrastructure investments are so important and so important for business.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.